I know we're all going for one thing, but it's a big show. There's no expectations. And I just want everyone to feel excited and buzzing for show day. Confident, of course, is an additional bonus.
Audience members, a round of applause for your Universe Physique Champion. Congratulations.
But excitement is what's important. PCA Universe. Whoa, what a day. That feels like so long ago now. But yeah, a phenomenal weekend. Still, every time I think about it, like gives me like goosebumps. I still just can't believe what actually happened. I mean, obviously kicking off a day with my unexpected pro card, which I definitely didn't expect. I think other people did, but I definitely didn't. And from then on, it just got better and better, didn't it? It was, yeah, I mean, the best ever show weekend for me by a mile. I think the roundup, I can't even remember how many first place it was in the end. I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5 or 6 first places. Zaka's overall, Zaka's pro card, my pro card, Zaka's pro bikini win, Christie's pro bikini win. Yeah, mental. How did I feel walking in that day? It was a bit of a weird one because I've competed on the same day as some of my clients before, but this one was different. When I say this one was different, I keep thinking about the start of the last YouTube video. I was like, this ain't just a normal show, this is the PCA Universe. I think I walked in, as I do as coach, I walked in as Coach Jake. And I think what probably made a difference for me this year is having someone prep me that I didn't have to think about anything that day. I'm very much like, I trusted Martin and I was like, you just tell me what I need to do and when I need to do it and I'll just do it. It definitely helped with me being first on that day because, I mean, Abby was first on and then I was on, but it definitely helped because I think if I'd have been on later in the day, it would have been worse, but I think because I was able to go on and stop. But yeah, walking in, yeah, it was weird because I have a reputation as a coach more than a bodybuilder, and obviously because no one knew I was doing that day, I usually walk in and people come and say hello to me and they're almost talking to me as Coach Jake, like, oh, that's Jake, and people are like, oh, you're having a great season. Whereas this time, obviously because I walked in and I'm tanned, them conversations didn't happen. It was like, oh fuck, you're here today and you're here as athlete Jake, not Coach Jake. And actually the conversations were totally different because it was like, oh, you're competing today. And whereas nobody really said to me, like, usually I go to shows and people are like, oh, so how many have you got in today? Them conversations just didn't happen. I got into a lineup to start registering and then it was just like people were, just asking like, oh, you're competing, like, didn't know this. And then it was like, oh, I only decided on Wednesday. And then people are like, oh yeah, did you? Like, you only decided on Wednesday? I was like, no, genuinely I did, like, that. I'm here. So definitely a very different experience. And again, even as we move through the day, that experience was still very odd because obviously winning my pro card, people were then like, congratulations, like, oh my God, well done, blah, blah, blah. When people then almost again didn't think about the fact that I still had 4 athletes competing that day. So we kicked off the day with Abby, and obviously he'd done the day before, because he had to qualify for the show, and he won that. And the guy who was in that, who he beat like 5 people, I think, on the Saturday, and I knew all of them would do the Sunday, but I was kind of like, if I peak him how I did on the Saturday for the Sunday, then he's going to beat the same guy again unless he really comes in better. So I'd kind of already done my initial research coming into that day for Abby. I looked at all of the other guys that had done the disability class up until that day, and I was like, well, everyone I've seen that's qualified, he's better than. In my opinion, it wasn't like this biased of subjective opinion. I was like, is quite clearly the winner. So after the Saturday and the win, I was like, I'm walking into Sunday and he's gonna be the universe champ. I mean, unfortunately, someone from abroad turned up and spoiled the fun that day. And actually, you know what? He deserved to win. He was very, very good. The guy who beat him, it was close, and I think I was gutted because I genuinely, I wouldn't say I was out of everyone, like he was the one I was the most confident about. But like, you know, if I was probably gonna pick a winner for Sunday, he would have probably been my choice, and my banker. And bless him, he didn't, but he looked absolutely fantastic. So it was a good showing still. So Ethan was next up, Universe champ as well. Let's not forget that he didn't get his pro card, but Universe champ. And I think for Ethan, what this show really definitely gave him, and you know, not just this show, actually this season. He did 3 shows. He won all 3 of the shows. He won't mind me saying this either. The standard, probably in that junior class, I don't know if I'd say it wasn't great. It was good, but I think actually for Ethan, he's just way far more advanced as a junior in that show. He has the capability to go on and do great things in the sport. His dedication, I say his dedication, apart from when he fucks up his diet and breeds them wrong, and takes somebody's abs, which I can't not put in there. But I think he was just way more advanced than all of the junior athletes that are on stage, which made it quite an easy win for him. And I think all that's done is just probably give him the confidence to know that where he is in his journey right now, at his age, he's ahead of the curve. And if he continues to progress in the way that he has over the last couple of years, you know, a PCA pro card is inevitable for him, but in my opinion, he has the capability to go that bit further. You know, if he was winning that class at 28, looking how he does, different story. But when he's as young as he is, I think what this season has really given him is that kind of, you know, clarification that he is ahead of where the rest of the people are for most cases in his journey, really. So yeah, next up for the day was Zaka. What a season for her! Like, season for her, season for me. Like, as a collective, we're a fucking great team. The season started probably with not the best outcome, but probably, was it the outcome I expected to start the season? Probably not, but it didn't matter for me. I had one goal for that first show for her, which was to qualify for PCA Universe. I think she struggled with, I think her concept was, as an athlete always, is you want to win. I have for athletes who I believe have the capability to go significantly far in this sport, and Zaka is one of them. For me, that was a tick box. And I think we was probably unaligned in our expected outcome for that show. Like, of course, you know, do I think she should have won? Probably actually should have won that show because she did the same regional as me and it was just me and her. But I knew, even just regardless of what the outcome of that show was, that what happened at the PCA Universe had the capability to happen because she is that good. She has everything that a bikini athlete can have, and she has that hybrid ability which enables her to move between PCA and two bros. And that was backed up by, after she did her PCA regional, we then went and did the two bros regional, she won the overall. And obviously then what happened at the Universe, she won the overall, won the pro card, won, you know, and I knew she had that in her. I think she just didn't know that she had that in her, and I think after the first show it probably knocked her confidence a little bit. But what that enabled, I think what that also enabled her to do is actually probably work that a little bit harder, because it was like, okay, I didn't win. Like, Jake's telling me that I am this good, but I need to prove I'm that good. And I think if she didn't get, do I think she would have still won if she didn't get the right outcome on the first show? If she got a win on the first show, yeah, I do. But I think it sparked a fire in her a little bit. And also because of the not so great outcome, she kind of had this view of, I'm not sure I like PCA, which I think actually then meant she was very settled, very relaxed, and didn't really care about the outcome, which I think actually then gave her like the best outcome. Last but not least was Christy. She loves a PCA show. And the reason she loves a PCA show is because she can get as conditioned as she likes, which she loves. Last year we did the PCA show first, to which she then went into the Two Bros after, which she, she'll openly admit she probably struggled with that because she had to get softer. Whereas this time round, we've done shows after the PCA show anyway, but we did the Two Bros ones first, which then enabled her to continue to dig and continue to be better. The peak for Christy was very, very different to what we would normally do. We had a lot less food, we had a lot less carbs on the carb up because, again, PCA is looking for condition. So we didn't want to go too heavy on the carb up. We didn't need to bring her fuller look. She has the muscle, and it just smashed it. She cleaned up. She even last year, she got third in the pro show last year, even just winning her pro card that day. So I knew she was going to do well. I didn't think she would get beat, to be honest. A great showing for her, nice little paycheck as well. But yeah, she just smashed it. She always does. I think she's probably on about 15 class wins now over 2 seasons, which is absolutely wild. So yeah, it was a great end to the day. It was the perfect end to the day. What would have been the worst outcome for Christy not to win. Of course, we always want to win, but it was like the icing on the cake to have a full clean sweep in bikini that day as well, which was great for me. I say last but not least with Christy, but actually, I forgot about myself, didn't I? Probably should talk about me, which I don't really like doing. For weeks after, I still don't know if I think it's sunk in. I'm still, as an athlete, I've always said I consider myself to be a really good coach and a very average bodybuilder. People would probably argue that. I still probably have that same view. Do I think I got lucky that day? No. Do I think I was the right person to win on that day? Do you know what? Absolutely, yeah. And that's probably the most confident I'll ever be when I look at my physique. And when I look back at the photos, I'm like, do you know what? I actually did look good.
And relax, gentlemen, listening for your numbers. Competitor 58 and 61, please switch. 58.
When I think about me going on stage as a PCA pro, I'm just like, nah, I'm nowhere near. Which for me is probably a bit of I think I probably struggle with now. Like, I'm over the moon, I won it, and I'm over the moon with the outcome. The probably disadvantage for me now as a PCA pro is that I love competing because I just love the fun, I love the suffering. And of course we all want to win, right? And now I probably see myself as, I've always been done well from a placing standpoint, but I now am bottom of the pile. It's like when you have a football team in the championship that get promoted to the premiership, most of the time they're going to be in the bottom half of the table. Don't get me wrong, you get a team like Brentford, for example, that get promoted and end up doing really well, and you'll have pros that are like that, people like Christy, people like Brandon, people like Zaka, but I consider myself to be one of those teams that have been promoted that are going to now sit in the relegation zone or in the bottom. And that almost it doesn't upset me, but I'm like, can I actually have fun and compete anymore? I've said this so many times and people will just say you're full of shit, but I do think I'm done now. I think that was the final icing on the cake for me, but there is definitely something that lingers that do I really want to go on stage again and finish 7th, 8th? Because instantly my brain goes, well, people are gonna think because I'm a great coach that I can't finish 7th or 8th as a bodybuilder. But yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome on the day. But for me as a bodybuilder, nothing's changed. Still tick all the boxes. Still continue to keep doing as I am. I'm not really enjoying training at the moment. I still look pretty good. But training has probably only really actually started to pick up a bit this week, where I'm just not feeling so heavily fatigued as a result. So yeah, since then, as a coach, it's been wild. I'm very, very grateful. It's been busy. I've had a lot of inquiries, a lot of new sign-ups. That weekend was, I feel like when you go through your career, you have them moments where if you're in a corporate job and you get that promotion, you see that, that big jump up. I feel like the universe was that for me. If you're you're in the first team, you're always on the sub bench, but you get in that first team. I feel like that's what this has felt like for me. I've had some great new people join, and some fucking great caliber of athletes. Like, I'm not just talking, you know, people that are just starting out. I'm talking like, I'm getting some athletes now that are experienced, seasoned competitors that are winning, that want to join because they see me as that person that's going to take them to the next step. And that weekend has been, yeah, I wouldn't say life-changing, but it's made a significant difference to me moving forward. And I think, like, although I talk about me, you know, winning my own pro card, that would have still made a difference on me from a coaching standpoint. But I think when people actually saw that weekend, you know, I won the Coach of the Week thing that week on the Beyond the Stage thing, people were just like, for anyone that didn't know about me, they know about me. If you follow PCA, you're like, fucking hell, who is this guy? You know, I even spoke to one of the judges actually last weekend at a PCA show, and he was like, that was some weekend for you. And it's like, everyone knew about it. And it's been busy. Like, it's, you know, and again, you know, I'm probably through some of this, I've not sounded too humble, but it's just continued since then. It hasn't stopped. Like, results have been back to back. And I feel like sometimes I'm like, how am I getting this lucky? But then I'm like, actually, maybe give yourself some credit. And it hasn't stopped there. Yeah, wow, I'm going to have to sit here and try and remember what we've had since then. So the week after that universe, we had PCA Aldershot, where Rob got actually, I need to check this before I don't get it wrong. So we had Rob compete at PCA, third place, great first showing for him of the season, followed by Amber, who got a first place and won the bikini overall. Also the same weekend, we had Hannah, a fit model gal who competed in Spain. She just missed out on her pro card, literally by a point. Her feedback from the judge was basically just do the same again and you would have won. So that was a great showing for Hannah. So yeah, off the back of Amber winning, we then moved on to Two Bros in Wales. We had Tina, who did her first show of the season. Tina picked up 4 medals, which was a second place and 3 first places in all of the classes. Nizara, she also won her class and just got beat in the overall. Amber also got a third there. We then moved on to the pro qualifier that was in Spain, which we had Christy and Nazara. Christy getting a second place, Nazara getting a first place win there as well. And then we had Charlie and Rob, who moved on to PCA, a double win there as well. Great win for Rob off the back of his first show and Charlie's first show of the season, where he got first place. So both got into the overall, which was nice to have 2 lads in the overall. And then we then had Chrissy, who went and did a warm-up show, who is currently, he's now 3 weeks out. He got a second and a third in a show, which was questionable. His feedback was that he was too conditioned, which I've never ever heard before for a male, but there we go. And then this last weekend, we have just had the PCA show take place. Tina got a 4th and an invite to finals, and Liv got a first place in bikini tall for her first show of the season. So it has been chaos still since the universe, but full of great results. So that is where we're up to. This weekend we have got the Two Bros Natty and Two Bros Regional. So we have got Delau and Tina both taking place in the Two Bros Regional. Delau's first show of the season. Very, very happy with how she looks. She looks fantastic. Tina, who is final show of the season, she also looks fantastic, so it'll be great to see those two in the first show. And then Liv will be taking part in the Natty show in the afternoon, off the back of her PCA win last weekend. All of which I believe in the show have the capability to win and definitely challenge for the overall. So I'm super excited, and I will be going to the show. Also this weekend we've got another 2 ladies competing out in Portugal, so it is the Amateur Olympia. We have got Hannah, who is competing in the fit model class. So she, as I mentioned earlier on, just missed out on her pro card in a previous show, so we managed to persuade her to go again. So she'll be going again. And then we've also got Nazara, who off the back of 2 back-to-back wins will also go after her pro card. So best of luck to all of those. So all 5 gals that I've got this weekend, I genuinely believe all have the capability to win. So I'm hoping to add up that tally of this season's show stats this weekend. After this weekend, we will move on to the Two Bros Pro Qualifier, which is the 19th of July, of which we will have Delau, who is also competing this weekend, as I mentioned, who will be doing the Pro Qualifier, alongside Liv, who will also be doing the Pro Qualifier, but she's on the 26th. And then also, depending on what happens with Nazara and Hannah in Portugal, will depend if they then move on to this show. So there is also one little surprise, which I am not going to mention, but I also have somebody else who will be competing at the Pro Qualifier on the 19th of July, but it is a secret. So all will be revealed.
Is it you?
It's not me. Imagine. I mean, that wouldn't be out of the ordinary, would it? So yeah, July, a busy month. The key thing for this month is that we have got 3 Pro Qualifiers. So opportunities for people to win pro cards, of which I believe everyone that I've got competing in those shows has the capability to win.
What does it mean for you if these 3 people win the pro cards?
If we look at what has happened at the PCA Universe, if we repeat the same this weekend, God knows what it's going to mean. I'm going to be flooded. IFBB Pro cards are absolute top tier. You know, whenever I've won one in the past, you just, as a coach, you just step up that just a notch again. So, I mean, if we was to get 1, I'd be absolutely over the moon. Any more than that, I don't know what I'll do. Probably have a breakdown.